Hey, this is James, and today we're going to be talking about social media and using Canva to produce several weeks of content in just a few short minutes. So today we're going to be working from an Excel file. We're going to be bringing that information in. I'm going to create in real time just how I create posts and how I use that for different businesses that my wife and I have. I think anybody with a business, anybody with a social media can benefit from this. You want to contain the work of social media into the shortest amount of time as possible. What I'm going to cover is going to show you exactly how to do that regardless of your skills set or your experience with Canva. Here's what I want you to do first. I want you to treat this video, part one, like a workshop. Stop the video now if you don't have access to Canva. Go get your password, go get your app updated, do whatever you need to do to make sure that when you come back to this video, you're ready to follow along step by step, okay? If you have access to that stuff, keep watching. This is simple and good stuff for being efficient in creating your posts. All right, here we go. Open up your Canva. We're going to this workshop today. We're going to be looking at just making posts. How do we make posts that we can put and schedule out for several weeks? That's really, really important. Social media can consume all of your time. So the idea is to condense all that down, right, into the shortest amount of time possible. So I want to create 10 weeks worth of, so one post a week that's a motivational quote. If you do recipes, if you have health and wellness, if you do motivation, if you do any kind, if you sell tires, okay, you can use these things. This is for everyone, okay? So we're going to focus on Instagram and Facebook. How do you make a post that works for both quick and easily? Here we go. You're going to go up here to the top where it says create a design. Okay, you can see it up here at the very top. You're going to click that. You don't have the same search history as me, so you're going to type in Instagram, okay? And you're going to go to portrait. Now, Instagram has square, but we're choosing portrait because we're going to make this a cross post between Facebook and Instagram. Portrait, we're done. Super easy. Now, here's what I'm going to explain to you. We are going to center everything in the center, and we're going to mark off where the square would be for Instagram, and the extra beyond those markers will show up on Facebook, or if you click on Instagram and you expand it, then you'll see those. So we're going to account for that space, but we're going to keep our center focus in a scrollable way that it works for both Instagram, formatted correctly, but will also work for Facebook, so you can post it and schedule at the same time. Let's dive into it. First thing you're going to do is you're going to familiarize yourself with this menu here on the left side. You have design, you have elements, you have text, brand, etc. I want you to go to elements. I want you to grab the square. Now here's a very important thing. You want to hold down shift and you want to drag this square. That keeps it a square. It keeps the format even. If you don't have shift on, see it does this. Okay, just highlight it, hit delete. If you make a mistake, highlight it, hit delete, or hit the undo button. Go back, you're going to grab your shape, you're going to grab your square, you're going to hold down shift and drag it. Okay, if you've never done this before, go pause the video and please master this first. It's super easy, not complicated. Pause it and then master this and try some other shapes and try dragging and dropping and make them different sizes. And I want you to drag it to where it's, if you drag it, those little lines will show up. You want it centered both vertically and horizontally, and that's where it's going to sit. So go pause it and do that. Now, after you've paused it, you're going to come back. I want you to do something that might seem different. We want to add some rulers to this. Oops. So stay in your design tab, go to file, go to view settings right there. See that? View settings and show rulers and guides. It's super important. What we're going to do is we're going to grab this ruler right here and we're going to bring a line down. It doesn't look like it did anything, but it did. And then we're going to grab it again and we're going to bring it down to where we call a snap. It kind of magnets. If you're not used to it, it's kind of like a magnet. It pulls it to that line, that edge of the gray box. Now we're going to keep the gray box there, just kind of for our own thing, but we're going to hit transparency. I want you to get really used to coming up here to transparency. You can add a lot of depth to your postings by using transparency. I use it all the time. It's one of the most used functions I have. All right. And I'm just going to lower that transparency down because I just want to kind of have it there for visual. Now, I'm creating posts for a nonprofit Camp Mogassay that my wife and I work at. I want to create some motivational encouragement quotes. And so what I'm going to do is I went ahead and created those in an Excel file, and I use numbers. Now, go ahead and get your Excel file out and start this. This is really important. I have what I did my very first row, row 1. You can see the 1 right there. I have quote and credit. Okay, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it reference. Okay, I just called it credit because I use this same Excel file for quotes. That's who I'm going to give credit to. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in there. Even though it's with scripture, I'm going to use the word credit. So it's in this file. Okay, so that's done. If you have recipes, anything that you can curate into an Excel file, this is where it's going to come in. So if you have 3 or 4 rows, if you have credit, maybe you have an ingredients list, maybe you have a list of things that aren't in your products, this would apply to you. Maybe you have a list of things that your business does that's different that you could put in there and you want to kind of curate that in an angle. There are a lot of things, okay? That's not what the point of this is. Figure out what you want to put in here and then come back. So for camp, for these motivational quotes, I really would like to do kind of a sunset thing, I think. I would like to do something with some trees for this run of posts, and I know I would like some clouds. I just kind of want something that's a good quote, motivational look. Our camp is out in the Front Range, northeastern Colorado, so we don't have a lot of trees, so I don't want to be mountainous, but I kind of want the skyline trees. So we're going to dive into that. First thing over here on the left under elements, I'm going to search sunset. How easy is that? That is easy. Now, if you don't have a pro version, you have a free version, some of these won't be available to you. You can see the ones with a little crown, those are the pro version. You don't have to have the pro version. The world is not going to end if you don't have the pro version. I'm going to pick this one because I kind of think it's cool. I'm going to stretch it out. I like it when it gets a little grainy, gets that old world film kind of look. I like it. There's my sunset. I'm pretty happy with it, actually. And you know what I might do, though? I hadn't done before is I'm going to rotate it. I am going to rotate that. I'm going to rotate it. Okay. Now you can see my gray box is behind it. Here's the first thing you want to get used to. First, you made a new posting and you chose the Instagram portrait. And then you grabbed a box, you used the shift button to drag it and be a square. I'm just reviewing everything. And then you went to your elements. You typed in sunset, stars, cloudy day, whatever it might be, beach, whatever the thing is that you're trying to capture, right? And you're going to drag it in there. This is your background. The next thing you want to be able to do is bring in text. So you hit T for text. Now, the next workshop we're going to do is we're going to be setting up some standards. Right now, it doesn't matter. It is more important to start than it is to have everything be perfect. I think one of the mistakes that we think is we see all this polish, and a lot of people take months and months and years to polish all of these things, and we don't want to do that right now. We want to get something started. If you use the same font for all of your motivational quotes for 12 months, and it doesn't match your brand when you get down 6-8 months down the road, nobody will know the difference and nobody will care. That is the person that is lost in the weeds and it doesn't matter anyway, okay? So just pick I have a heading set up already. I've already set up some branding stuff. You don't have that. It doesn't matter. Just pick one. You can scale it anyway once you bring it in there. You can make the words bigger or smaller, so it doesn't matter. Just pick one. See, look at. If I pick body, it's totally configurable as well. I can stretch it. It's a different font, so it looks different, but you can change the font just like any word or anything like that. I can change the font. I can make it like this. I can do whatever I want, okay? So it doesn't matter. Just bring a text in, find one you like. I am going to, remember the first word was quote, okay? I got quote in there. I'm going to grab my next one. My next one, I'm going to bring it in here, and we called it not reference, credit. Okay? Super easy. I'm going to bring that guy down there. Now, I would like to start adding some dimension to this. These are my words that were in my Excel file, okay? I would like to add some dimension to this. So I would like to come up here to elements, and I'm going to put in tree line. Ooh, I didn't actually ever do tree line before. I like that. That's cool. Cool. Now I'm just going quick. The idea is to go quick. If you get into like perfectionism right now, you are toast. It doesn't have to be perfect. Ooh, I like those. Okay. I'm looking over my laptop screen here. So you're like, what's he looking for? I'm looking over my laptop screen at my main screen. Here we go. I'm going to stretch this out. Oh, those might be a little too much. I'm not sure I like those. Nope. 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 I'm just clicking them all now. Nope. See, this is how it works. No, it's too blocky. No, those are not cool. I don't like those. I definitely don't like those. When I stretch these out, nope. See how it gets, see when you stretch them out, they get like a little blobby. I do not want blobbytree.com. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. I probably could mesh those together actually and make something kind of fun and do a gray over a white and see, you could do something like that. That's actually, I've never done this before, but we're just going to wing it. I've never done that in my life. That was literally on the fly. Oh, that is awesome. Look at that in the distance. Oh my goodness. That was awesome. I've never done that. That was cool. We're leaving it just because it was awesome and it was on the fly. So we're going to leave that. I'm going to bump this up a little bit. I'll tell you why in a second. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's funny. That's funny. I've never done that before in my life. That was cool. What I am getting is I'm getting a little line in here, and I don't like this line. See it? Because that other tree row is behind it. Next thing you're going to learn about Canva that you're going to get really, really used to is some of the controls. So we're going to come up here to the top, and you can see where it says position. We're going to click that. Get really used to position. I want to go in position and then go to layers, and I want to move this one behind that one. There you go. Now I put that gray one behind the black one, but now I still have a line, don't I? Yes, so I might not be able to do them quite as dramatic. I really like this. I am going to figure out how to do this. Okay, I'm going to bring in another element. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull these trees out. I'm going to put these trees kind of where I want them. I'm going to go back up here to the elements. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to delete my search to where this square is available. Boom. Elements. A square is available. I'm going to bring that square down here like this to the end. I'm going to let it snap. Now I'm not holding shift because I want to make it fit. I'm going to snap that bad boy in there. Boom. I'm going to take him. I'm going to come up here to the top row where my color is. And I'm going to go ahead and just click that like that. Now they're the same color. Now the command you're going to learn to do next is, ooh, actually I don't like that. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Oh, now they overlap. It's still a little visible. It does not have to be perfect. And I probably could just go like that and mess with that transition a little bit. Nope, I'm going to make it black first, just like the other one was. And this one's transparency we made at 57. We're going to go down and make this one a transparency also of 57. So here's what we're going to do. This was originally black, right? We just messed with the transparency to give it that. When I messed with the transparency, I went down to 57. I tried to do a color match and do it faster. It didn't work, okay? So now I made this rectangle, and I made it just a standard black, okay? Up there at the top. Boom. There's my color. It turned black. So I'm going to go back up here to the top, transparency, and I'm going to make it 57. And that should make it match. There you go. Now, next thing, I have two elements. Still got a line in it, though, doesn't it? I don't like that. I don't know why it has a line. Let's look here. See, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm saying all those things. But at the same time, So it looks good. I think it's an optical illusion. I really do. Anytime you grab or have two elements, when you click an element, element's anything that you drag into here. Some keywords you got to learn with Canva. An element is something you bring in, a picture. If it's manipulatable in here, it's an element, okay? That's this little term over here on the left column. It's an element. If I select two elements by holding down Shift, I get the option to group. Now I'm going to group them. It's still got a little line down there. Huh. That's a little bit bizarre. I don't know why. Interesting. Well, let's try something else because I don't like that. We do like it perfect. We don't need it perfect, but I bet it has to do with layers. I'm going to tell you right now it has to do with layers. But let's try something else. Let's group them as a group and then do the transparency and see what happens then. Still do it? Yes, it did. So we're going to ungroup. We're going to group. Transparency back to 100%. That did not work. So now when something doesn't work and you're like, oh no, I really messed it up. You didn't mess it up. You got an undo button. Look at that. They're both black again. Is that not nice? I'm going to go ahead and click the trees. I'm going to go to transparency. I'm going to go down to 57 again. Okay. I'm going to click my little rectangle box that I made. And I'm going to take its transparency down to 57 also. They don't match. And that's okay. I think that's okay. We're going to click this and we're going to go back to position. We're going to go back to layers. Look at that. I'm going to ungroup those. I'm going to move that below it. Okay. So I did a couple things pretty quick there. I'm going to go back to position and I'm going to try putting that bar as a layer beneath those trees. It's almost like it's making it worse. That's really bizarre. Huh. Well, it's a good idea. It's worth trying. It's worth trying, kids. All right, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. It is absolutely fine. Nobody is going to care about that. I don't care about that, and neither should anybody else, quite frankly. This thing is epic looking. Okay. Since we're doing this, I'm not going to pause the video and restart it. But really what needs to happen is I need to find a gray that they both match and not use transparency here. And then make both of those that color. So that would get rid of the line. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to select the color so you can see how to do it. I'm going to select a new color. And I am going to go ahead and go down here and I'm going to click this color. Okay. And I'm going to click this box and I'm going to make it the same color. And then I'm going to take the transparency off of both of them. And now when they overlap each other, that should take it off. See, I did something new and I found a new problem. A little bit bizarre here, buddy. Position. Does that get rid of it? Pretty close. Nobody's going to notice that line. I mean, I've just got it. I just played with it a little bit, and you'll learn how to do that. Don't overthink it. Now, I gotta move my credit up a little bit. I gotta move my quote up a little bit, maybe like this and like this. And we're gonna put some words in there. I'm probably gonna have to move these gray trees down just a smidge. They're just too tall. They're getting into my quote there. All right. There we go. Okay. Oops. All right. So, I like that. I'm super happy with that. I would like some clouds. So we're going to go back over to elements and let's grab some clouds. Okay? Super easy. I do use these quite a bit. These are the ones I like. I use him pretty often, actually. And I like a little, there's another one I use. It's kind of fluffy. Yeah. Use that guy. Kind of like that. Graphic see all. Oh, so if you go to see all, this is fun. Okay, if you go to see all, you can get some other ones that are kind of similar, maybe. And we don't want to get into that because I'm going to have to get into some editing to make that work. I'm going to put a couple of them in there. See that? Yeah, this doesn't look quite the same that way. Now, something you can do with these, it just does help them blend in a little bit, is you can go to, and I like doing this, then you're going to have to get used to this. Now that they're little pictures, you go up to edit photo. See, if I click my background, it's edit photo. If I click my trees, I can edit the image. I want to take this tree, I want to edit the photo, and I go down here to filters. And these are all the effects. And we'll get into this in another one. But here at this one, I like to color my clouds. See that? See that little color I just gave it there? Yeah. See that? Did you see it? You can make it a little pink. They blend in. I could bring in that same element cloud that's the exact same one. I could put it right over that one and have a little depth. Look at that. Oh man. Look at that. That's cool. It's got some depth. That's easy. I like it. I'm going to click them together. Shift, right click each one. So they're together and they're grouped. So when you group something, what it does, it allows you to give attributes to both simultaneously. See, those don't match. But on the corner, when it's bleeding out up there in the top, they very much match. That's great. That is a good, it looks like the sun off in the corner. You see that? When you group something together, you then manipulate them and size them at the same time. And so you're going to use group and ungroup a lot. Here's another way you use group. If I come over here, remember the position thing that we used a lot for the layers. Now we're going to learn to use position for arranging. And you're going to use this a lot because it's very hard sometimes when you're making something with all these lines popping up to know what's exactly center. So let's say I wanted my quote perfectly center. I would go up to position. I would come over here to arrange. See, there's layers and arrange. And I would click center. That's cool, huh? But if I had credit and quote holding down shift and I group them and I come over and hit center, now look at it centers them based on their far outside justification of their box. That's pretty cool. Here's something to watch out for. If my credit box is like super big and my quote box is like a different size and I shift right click and I put those together and I group them and I come over here and I do it. James told me, and James said center, but they're not going to look centered. They do not look even from their outside edges are not equal. It's because those text boxes are different size. So that's something to watch out for. A learning curve that has gotten every single one of us. A little side note there. Keep your text boxes pretty evenly. Pretty even, okay? Cool. So I'm going to put credit right about there. And I'm going to put quote right about there. And I love quotation marks. And I found some this morning that I absolutely love. I'm going to go back over to Elements. I'm going to type in quotation marks scribble. And I don't know where the ones were that I found that I liked. I don't know if I'll find them again. I thought they were super cool. They were up. Sometimes I wish they had recently used on here. It was this guy. I like him. But there's only one. So here we're going to use the group and we're going to adjust attributes together. I'm going to click another one. I'm going to get them pretty even with one another like that. I'm going to hold down Shift, click them both. There. See that line pop up? See the red line? The problem is it's going through the quote word. It's tricking me. Now, see those boxes when I right click them? Now they're even. I'm going to hit group. Now I'm going to adjust those attributes together. Boom. I love that. I actually really like that a lot. I think those are cool. What color am I going to do? I don't know. Haven't made it that far. Let's look at some options. I don't think I want green. That's pretty ugly. So's orange. So's yellow. So my branding colors are out. That's too soft. That's too dark. White. That's too bright. A gray. That goes good with my trees. That's too gray. It's got a bluish grade to it. Doesn't like a green blue. We don't want that. Green definitely clashes. We're going to go with that charcoal. And you notice I have to click each element and do them. Make them a little smaller. I'm going to move my quote down a smidge. And that's it. That's my posting. All right. Next. You will have to play with the words quite a bit. Now, I'm going to cheat, and we're going to go over to my numbers, and I'm going to grab one of these scriptures that are the longest. Okay, and so I'm going to cut and paste these words in there. Okay, so I get an idea of about how many words they're going to fit. Okay, post them in there. See that? Now, when I bring my text in, I'm going to center it. Now, see it's center justified, just like Word or anything else. I want to left justify it. I'm going to bring my credit out. Now, see, and this is where I was telling you that my gray might be just a little too tall, and it's going to be. Probably can move my clouds up a smidge. Okay. And probably move those bad boys over a little further. I want the edge of this credit maybe from this edge over here to over here kind of maybe look the same so it kind of balances out. Oh, I like that. It's getting better. It's getting better. But let's call it that. Let's call it that. That's cool. I like that. And we're going to move credit out just, oops. We're going to move credit out just a smidge. There we go. And I want credit. I want you to be bold because I think it's cool. Awesome. So I know that's about where it's going to sit. So now I'm going to carefully click this. And I'm going to highlight it just like you do everything else. I'm going to put the word back in. Quote. And I'm going to get rid of this extra line. Done. So now my box is where I want it. Okay. I'll lock this bad boy. I don't have to lock it. It's okay. All right. Now, let's import our scripture or our Excel data or whatever you want to put in there. This is where you would bring it in. So you're going to go over here to the left and you're going to go to apps and you're going to go down to or search for the words bulk create. I don't know where it's at exactly. Let's see if I can find it this way. Bulk create. Popular. Where is it at? Bulk create right here. Now, we're going to upload a CSV. I went to numbers, Excel, whatever you use, and I went to file, and I went to export, and I exported a CSV. I did not include my table names, and I saved it. Boom. Boom. So now I'm going to go to my documents. No, wait. Come down here. And I'm going to open it. Now, this is super easy. See, it brought all that stuff in, and see where it says quote and see where it says credit. Now I'm going to take my quote. I'm going to click these three little dots that pop up now. Now, I didn't click the inside. I didn't double click it to where I'm editing. I just clicked the element to where it highlighted it. This, I'm going to connect the data of the quote. Super easy. I'm going to go to credit. I'm going to go connect the data for the credit. And probably need to make that a little wider for Joshua judges and everything else. Now, I'm going to go over here. I've got them both attached. See, you got your little squiggly lines. I'm going to hit continue. All of them popped in. See that? I'm going to select them all. Generate all. Look at that. Done. Done. Now, there's a little formatting you got to do. Whoop-a-de-doo. Not a big deal. Okay. But across the board, I'd say those are sick with it. I'm going to move Psalm straight up. Joshua, I'm going to probably leave alone. I might actually move this guy up a smidge. Might move them all up like that. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete them all. I'm going to click undo. Until it's all backed up. Okay. So I'm going to go like this. And you're like, well, the Hatcher, you just told us not to be crazy. I know. Quote and not reference credit. And this just helps you. I would label these whatever data was in your field, you know, ingredient 1, ingredient 2, any of that stuff. It's super easy, okay? That's super easy. Walk through, and now I'm just going to delete all those because I just want to recreate them. It takes 2 seconds. And I want to go ahead and move him up. He actually looks okay moved up. I like that, okay? It looks okay. I was a little nervous at first. It's going to go a little longer. I think that'll be okay. I really do. And then we'll move credit over. And it'll be all right. All right, we're going to try that. Go back to bulk create. Upload CSV. Scroll down. Grab the CSV that I did. There it is. Click quote. Click the buttons. Connect data. Quote. Click this. Click the buttons. Connect data. And go to credit. And I hit done. And I hit done. Yeah, I like that better. That looks way better. I like that. That, and I'll probably move him up a little bit. So this is not that much work. This guy, I would center this. It's not gonna hurt anything. They're gonna be weeks apart. Nobody's gonna be picking your social media apart that badly. If they are, there's something not right. And I'm just gonna shrink it down. Yep. And you're like, well, that's not the same. I know. That's okay. It needs to look good for what it is. Right? God is my refuge. I'll probably move him down here. I do love that scripture. I'd probably move that guy down here, actually. It's kind of in the middle, so somebody sees it. It's right in the middle of their eye line when they're scrolling. See, I moved him up, and then I moved him all back down. Yep. That's pretty much what happened. Just touch them. It doesn't take that long. Thought I wanted it the other way, and I didn't. There you go. 10 weeks worth of imported data into postings, just postings. You got to have 3 postings a week if you're going to be serious about social media. This gets one of those out of the way. We spent a half an hour together. I'm sure, maybe longer. I didn't look at the timer. And we did all those. And we did something fun. We did the tree line with 2 different colors. That was super cool. And then we had a whole problem of getting them to match. Now remember, how did we get them to match? We couldn't get them to match the transparency. So we took them both out. When it wasn't transparent, we knew that was the color we wanted. We went up to the custom color. We clicked the little guy. I'm going to show you that one more time because that was the only thing that was kind of different in this video. Is I came up here and I went to document colors and I grabbed this little thing. And anywhere that you click on here, it'll choose that color. So I selected the color of those when they were still transparent. Okay, that was the only thing we did that I hadn't planned on doing. It just ended up looking really cool. So then I made both those tree line and the bottom ribbon. I made those 100% black, and then I changed them both to the other color that we took while it was transparent. And then I reordered their layer up in position, the layer, to where they're in a different order to get rid of that line. And it looks really good that way. So I probably won't leave it like this. What would I do differently if it was... Not sure what I would do different. I don't know if I can get away with that. I would probably play with this is the only thing I would do different. And I would definitely bring in my other text. And we probably should just go ahead and do that. Let's just do it. Stinkerooski. Let's do it. We're going to go ahead and just delete them all. You're like, Hatcher, you said it didn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. We do have to have all the information on there. Okay, we do need www. And not caps. We need www.campmakase.com on there. That does need to be white because that's important. That does need to be centered. That's a big deal. And then we can move these back down. Move it over a little bit. And that still looks really good. So we can still do that. Still get away with all that. And it's below that line. So it still looks cool. And you've got a little texture. That's a big deal. So we'll adjust that. This is quote. And this is credit. Super easy. And I'll just re-import it. So, and that's just part of it. Like, you just got to kind of play with it. And if you get freaked out because it's not perfect, sometimes you don't see it until you've posted it. And that's totally okay. Like, you can't be so hard on yourself that you don't ever do anything. That's not cool. Right? Like, I literally have this down so well now that I can't ever forget it. Ever. There you go. Now it'll make them. And I'll just buzz down and readjust them. That one looks good. I'll bring him down. I like that. I'll bring him down, bring him down, bring him up. I mean, I just literally did 10 weeks worth of work. Like, it isn't that big a deal to bring some things down and kind of shape them a little bit. Remember, this is the one that we changed the font size on it. And then I probably could do that. We just moved him down a little bit and moved the quotes down. I like that size. You could center it. I mean, you could come down here and you could center it if you wanted to. That's totally fine. I didn't really want him centered. I want him up in the air a little bit. That's where I like him. Bring that down. Bring Psalms up there. And you're done. I mean, I think that's pretty fun. And it was fun. And I picked these scripture because I thought they were personal. I think, and here's the thing. I'm working now. Like, I'm going to post these, and so I want them done the way I want them done. Okay, so those are done. I'm going to save those things. Okay. Here is why this is such a big deal. These are personal. You want quotes, you want motivational quotes, you want things on your social media that mean something to you that are personal. You're building a filter, and you need to filter based on who you are and the things you like and the things that you do and all of those things. You personally, having somebody else do it for you is not the same thing as you personally picking those things. As an entrepreneur, as a business that has a personality, this is important. Can't mock and say, we're going to put these scriptures up. I picked these specifically. I picked them for the time of year. I thought about it, and these are the ones I liked for the next 10 weeks. I'm excited for them to go out. And so that personality or that personal touch does come across, and anybody can do this super quick and add that personal touch to your social media that is so important. So that's it. That's our tech highlight in Canva. The next workshop, we are going to touch on exporting these. Okay, exporting them. So we're going to get 56 of them, and we're going to export all of them, and then we're going to export these 10, and then we're going to go schedule them. So we're going to just get the work done. So in an hour, half an hour workshop of this, half an hour workshop of scheduling them, we're going to schedule them out, and then we're going to do all that. After we get some scheduled and we get some work done, and then we're going to go back in the workshop 3 and start looking up, hey, how do I set up a branding package? How do I set those things up so my fonts, my colors are kind of close? And we're going to look at how you can pick some colors that are available to you if you don't know how to match. That'll be kind of our third workshop. And then fourth, we'll be finishing out the rest of the year. So, and then scheduling for the rest of the year. So you're done with this group of postings. Super easy, and it's fun to get it done. I'm excited. It is January 23rd. And I'm done with these posts through March. That feels great. And I think you should have that confidence and that excitement for your business as well. And it's easy. Just dive in. Go get Canva, go get logged in, get your email, get your password, get all that figured out, and dive in and just get it done. That's it. Hope this is encouraged. Put it in the comments if you want to see something. If I missed something, if I misspoke, put it in there because I do want to correct it. I'm not perfect, but I do want to help people do what I'm doing. And so if there's something I messed up, put it in the comments, or you caught something that wasn't clear, put it in the comments and I'll follow up with it. Takes just 20 minutes to do the video. Happy to do it. So want this to be a help for everybody that's watching. Thanks, guys. Remember, believe hero. Appreciate you guys being here. And man, everything you can do just helps build confidence to do a little more. So let's get it done.